Most Father's Day stories start with closeness. Mine doesn't. My dad and I aren't the best friends type, and I can't even clearly remember if I was ever a daddy's little girl or the definition of a daddy's little girl. But I'm still his daughter, and the truth is, he has indirectly taught me some of the biggest lessons that shaped my life, the way I advise people in their business today. Welcome back to the Solo to Entrepreneur show. Today, it's not a tribute wrapped in perfection. It's a real story about distance, respect, and the strange way we can learn from someone even when the relationship isn't warm or easy. If you've ever loved someone from far away or respected someone without being close to them, you would know what I mean. My father is the oldest son of 9 kids in his family, not counting his older step siblings. I don't know if it's cultural personality or just the way life unfolded, but emotionally closeness was never really the defining feature of our relationship. As the firstborn, I have a few memories that feel like I had a moment of being daddy's little girl. And then as my siblings came along, the relationship shifted, became more distant, more practical, less expressive. And I want to say this clearly. I'm not sharing this to shame him. I'm sharing it because it's real. It's more common than people admit, and it's how I view it from my side or from my point. Here's what I do know about my dad. He was brought up in a chicken farm, and everything I've heard from people who grew up around him points to one thing: resilience. I've heard of people that used to bully him back in school, but he redirected it to studying hard to break a generational cycle, became a medical doctor compared to all his other siblings, and then a business owner. Mind you, my mom married a poor, broke doctor. Now that alone tells you something about his ability to endure discomfort and push forward. And to this day, he is the breadwinner of my family, compared to back then my mom when he married mom. Even now, with his health declining, his age increasing, he's still planning, still thinking ahead, still trying to build a path for his children who are now adults. I'm not in Malaysia like my other siblings are, so I don't always feel included in that picture. That part is complicated, but I can still respect what it takes to keep carrying responsibility even when your body is tired. My dad and I may not always see the same side of the coin, but there's one thing I've learned from him that I've carried into every session or season of my life. You don't have to be perfect to be persistent. Now, mind you, today's episode was something that I wasn't sure I should do, but I thought, you know what? I know Father's Day has passed, but it's never too late. See, here it goes. Neither of us are straight-A students in our lifetime, but I've learned to never give up and keep hustling in my own way. Resilience isn't always loud. Sometimes it's quiet. It's getting up again. It's showing up again. It's doing what needs to be done, even when nobody is clapping for you. And in business, that's not motivational talk. That's a skill. That's staying consistent when the numbers aren't pretty yet. That's taking the next step when you don't feel ready. Sure, him and my mom used to give me a hard time if I didn't get an A for a test or I didn't score over 80% in an exam. Or if I failed, that was like as if the whole world crumbled down. But I've seen my dad fail too. At his age, he's still studying, and I've seen him fail. And I've seen him beating himself up as much as I do for me when I fail. And I understand that they want us, or they want me, to be the absolute greatest. If you ask people who know my dad, many of them will tell you he has a heart of gold. He is the kind of person who genuinely wants to help, even when it backfires. He has sponsored nurses he employed or has now employed so they could continue studying, so they could be qualified enough to help him in his business. And when patients couldn't afford treatment, he's given them free care. Mind you, those patients do eventually come back, exchanging their goods for medication. So we usually end up with boxes and boxes of fruits and vegetables, fresh ones from their farm. Now that's why I say my father may not be the wealthiest doctor in town, but to me, he's the wealthiest in heart, duty, and care. He originally wanted to be a doctor to serve his community in the countryside rather than the city. Life doesn't always go the way we imagine. And he ended up building a clinic in the city anyway, with hopes that his kids, one of us, or the others anyway, could eventually take over to have a secure future for themselves and their family. But the motive underneath it all was service. I'm sharing this not as something to be boasting about or shaming, right? I'm sharing this as a window viewpoint of where I come from and how I do what I do. But on top of that, to also appreciate what we have in front of us or what we have at hand. In my world, that's a business lesson too. When your foundation is duty and care and heart, people feel it. Your reputation becomes your asset. Here's the part where most people skip when they talk about good-hearted leaders. Being kind without structure can cost you. Being kind may eventually lead to people using you. That happens all the time. For me as well. For my coaches too. For everybody, right? But my dad's faith in people, his tendency to give the benefit of the doubt, it's beautiful. And it has also backfired, like I said. Those moments taught me something that became central to how I advise clients today. You can lead with heart, but you must protect with boundaries. Whether or not you see it or someone you admire points it out. In business, that looks like clear agreements, clear roles, and clear consequences. It means you don't confuse generosity with lack of standards. You don't build a company that depends on hope and goodwill alone. I learned from his mistakes. Not to judge him, again, it's not to judge him, but to do the opposite in my own life and business is to not repeat the mistakes that he has done. It's building systems, setting boundaries, and still staying human. My dad may not know how to express himself emotionally, and in a strange way, I understand where my introvertness comes from. Some families have loud, or some families are loud with love, my mom's side, and some are quiet with it, my dad's side. Mine has been quiet, but quiet doesn't always mean absent. Sometimes it means limited tools, limited language, limited emotional practice. Don't get me wrong, I still respect him. And I do believe he cares in his own way. And maybe not the hallmark way. This is the part I want to land clearly. Is why this made me a better business advisor. I'm a reliable and credible business advisor because I've lived around real trade-offs. I've seen what resilience looks like when it's not glamorous. I've seen how service builds reputation and trust. And I've seen what happens when good intentions meet the wrong people without boundaries. So when I advise clients, I'm not just handing out theories. I'm helping you make decisions with clearer eyes. Protect the mission, protect the people, and protect yourself while still building something meaningful and solid. So for this year's Father's Day, I'm not posting a perfect relationship. I'm sharing a true one. If your relationship with your father is complicated, you're not alone. And if you've learned indirectly from distance or even through mistakes, those lessons still count. Mind you, before I migrated to the US, Dad pulled me aside, gently, not harshly. Remember, words wasn't his strong point. Maybe it's not for me too. But he pulled me aside asking me, or rather worried, Lorraine, you're throwing your life away. Why are you doing this? You've got a business in Australia. You are old now. Why are you throwing all your reputation and your business away? And then I know he means well. All I explained to him was, Dad, out of all the kids that you have, I'm the only one that has built her business from the ground up, is not in debt, has her business gone international, has self-published 27 books with bestsellers at hand, have traveled internationally for business, I have built a reputation, a brand that people recognize. Plus, I'm searchable on Google too. Okay, maybe I'm not advising him to go Google me, but I was trying to show him not to be scared of my journey, not to be worried of me. So I said, wouldn't you think I would have considered all angles on this move? I have no debt after all. And I've grown into a confident person. Ever since that interaction, he has not questioned me one bit. I guess in a way, I know deep down that he would still worry as a parent. But I also know that he's giving me an opportunity of growing. He's giving me the opportunity of creating something for myself, and he is allowing to trust me in my journey towards something even bigger, to be able to help people in the masses, internationally and not just locally. And I believe that every single one of you that's listening to this, whether or not you have a close relationship with your father or not, there is a journey to take. I know mine has been difficult. And if you follow me, there is more into it. Or although I'm not close to him, I still have the relationship with him. Because there are points that I have learned from him. It may sound weird, but yes, I have learned from him. His silent being, whether or not learned from his mistakes, or learned from his failures, or learned from his genuine heart. There are points to see here. And I want to challenge you to do the same with your own father, with your own parents. Is how close are you with them? What are the level of closeness you have with them? Is there more to the story? Why do they behave the way that they do? Is there something that you could understand and learn from with the relationship you have with them? If today's episode touches you, resonates with you, share it with someone who needs that permission to tell the truth about a story, whether or not it's with a relationship of the parents or not, so that you don't miss any other episodes in future. Do like this episode. Tell me what you feel about it. Maybe share me a short summary or a story of something or a memory that stuck out with your father. And you know what? Subscribe. Subscribe to this podcast today so that you do not miss anything further. Remember, this is real. Life is real, business is real, and we are here to continuously pivot towards success together with ease. My name is Lorraine Chai, and I'm signing out from the Soul to Entrepreneur Show. I'll see you on the next episode.